What is up, everyone? So it's been a while since I did the last video. Been very busy. I'm actually launching my new company very soon that is involved in advertising and social media interactions that you can earn with Bitcoin. So stay tuned for that. But before I go into that, I've always been talking about cryptocurrencies, and at the same time, building a cryptocurrency portfolio that will help against inflation in the long run. And of course, the benefits of having a portfolio of cryptocurrencies is that you know that at the end of the day, it's still going to be better than you holding your existing fiat currency. Wherever you are in the world, we all know that interest rates, when you keep your money in the bank, it's getting you nowhere. And at the same time also, because due to the fact that there's inflation that occurs on a yearly basis on food, education, water, utilities, all these things are going up gradually. And people who are trying to make ends meet, they are not growing their funds fast enough, right? Because the money is just getting weaker and weaker as time goes by. It happens very gradually. It takes sometimes years, but in certain countries, it's even faster. The depreciation is even faster, and the purchasing power actually drops. So my objective is just literally to provide advice for people who are wanting to look at alternative investments. So in this case, cryptocurrencies, but at the same time also, the platform that I plan to create will allow a revenue share, meaning that when advertisers are intending to put up advertising on our platform, we will share a portion of that revenue with our members, as long as they are viewing the advertising that comes on our platform. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be very exciting, and I'll be putting up more details in probably in the next week. The moment we have a soft launch, I'll invite everyone on my channel to sign up and have a look and explore and navigate through our platform. So yeah, that's something that I want to do. So next, I just want to say that BTC, well, it is above the $1,000 mark. Okay, so but if you notice, now for crypto news, right? If you notice, BTC is currently at it's at $1,000 at the moment. So it fell very drastically because of the uncertainty of SegWit, probably exchanges. Exchanges are now being clamped down, being monitored, being regulated, or at least they are trying to regulate them. So there's always that uncertainty. Then of course the main issue to me is the scalability issue, where networks are network fees are getting more and more expensive. Okay, so this has to be sorted out by obviously the solution is SegWit, but you won't know exactly how it will cause the price of Bitcoin to react, especially if, for example, there's suddenly a swing towards Bitcoin Unlimited, where a new chain pops up. So there's going to be probably BTU and BTC. So that causes a lot of uncertainty. So people who have BTC at the moment, there are certain wallets that will actually duplicate BTU. So in my opinion, from that perspective, it actually devalues BTC, and it's like a share split. I am not very sure how it would affect BTC directly, because I have experience in Ethereum. And what happened was, when the DAO got hacked, right, there was a split of, you could choose whether you wanted ETC or Ethereum. I can't really remember. I still chose ETH, but that caused a huge dip in terms of the price, like 50% down, man. So if that happens, right, you're looking at $500 BTC, and then you probably will have BTU. So you have the same units, right? And then we allow the markets to decide whether or not where they want to swing, to BTU or BTC, in that very unlikely event. Well, I wouldn't say it's very unlikely. It could happen. See, that's the thing about cryptocurrencies. It's very volatile. Now, Of course, that being said, just have some precautions on that, and I'll probably do another video about what you can do if that actually occurs if you have BTC. A quick one is just basically to have a stored value, a cryptocurrency that has a sustainable stored value. So to me, if you're on Poloniex and you feel that the current BTC is not going to be very sustainable, okay, you're just worried, I'd say, sometimes you have to bite the bullet and convert everything to USD tokens, right? Just convert to USD tokens, or you have to just, cash out everything on BTC, or at least a portion of it, right? To see where the market is headed. That is one way. Alternatively, because there's no cryptocurrency that I can safely say that is a safe store of value at the moment that has zero volatility. For example, Ethereum. Ethereum has moved up so much in just this month alone that I can't even justify that it is a good store of value, because it can correct very drastically for whatever reason, and you would lose a good portion of your stored value as well. So just giving you an example, right? Because Ethereum is the second largest market cap behind Bitcoin, where it holds about 4.6 billion at the moment, and BTC is probably around 15 to 16 billion, right? It seems to be hovering around. I think BTC dominance is about 67%. Okay, so let's go to coin market cap. So let's go to coin market cap and take a look, right? Okay, so yeah. So BTC is now at 68.1% dominance, and total market cap is 16.6 billion, and Ethereum is 4.7 billion. So that being said, okay, there is no real place that I can safely say, okay, this is a great, excellent place, store of value. I would never say that. Okay, the best is just be in US dollars until this whole thing blows over, and then you decide. Of course, naturally, the gamble would be staying invested in BTC and saying that, okay, most likely there's, this split is not going to happen. Everyone's going to hard fork and stick to SegWit. SegWit is just an upgrade of the protocol. There's not going to be a split in the coin. If everyone votes for BTU or Bitcoin Unlimited, then you're going to have that split occur. Okay, so just take note. Now, okay, now on trading, I realized that it's very exciting when you can see 400 plus returns, percentage returns, 200. I think Bitcoin Plus was able to generate 3,200%, okay, in a single day. For whatever reason that I cannot really comprehend why, that it can justify 3,200%. Is it a faster coin? Is it because the transaction fees are much more favorable than Bitcoin at the moment? I do not know, because when I was looking through it, I don't see a really drastic distinction of how it can be 3,200 other than whales pumping it. That means you can even have syndicates of whales moving around or having a good portion of money entering a very small cap crypto and manipulating the price. Because as you can see, if I was to just sort, for example, by this, right, by changing the percentage or hunting by volume, I could easily just have this wow, top rank. And people who are very new, especially, okay, this portion, especially if you're very new to cryptocurrency trading, you have to pay attention and not get blinded by these things. Because can you imagine that you see 440% returns, okay? You're not someone who reads in depth into cryptocurrencies, all right? And suddenly you just decide, okay, let's take a punt, right? Let's take a punt. Let's say it's only 27 satoshis, that's like nothing. And you put in, $50, $100 or whatever. And if the whales decide to leave, okay, so let's just go to the chart, right? Look at it, man. The volume has been nothing. It's just 4, 3, look at the volume, 8, 4.5 BTC, 2.8. This I've already sorted it as a 1-day candle, guys. Okay, this is its total volume. It's nothing. 8,000, 1,200, 3,900. Suddenly, on this day, the 26th of March, you have 4,856 BTC coming into this platform, right? I mean, I understand. Sorry, into this crypto. I understand it could happen if there's some news about a development of this coin. I have no idea what Bitcoin does. Okay, I have no idea. Okay, but you suddenly see this news, and oh shit, you're worried that you're gonna miss the next big thing, and you come in. Okay, so you come in at this point, at the high. Okay, so the whales are just waiting. Okay, they have money, right? They have money. So the whales are just waiting, or the syndicate are just waiting for the mass market to catch on. Okay, it's just like advertising, guys. It's just like advertising, right? Because you can easily manipulate this. Can you imagine? Every other day was below 10 BTC, even 5 BTC. Suddenly there's someone or a group of people who have enough BTC to just pump in 4,856 bitcoins, and it suddenly boosts the market cap up so significantly that you suddenly take a look, and it appears as the top percentage in terms of return. People start coming in, right? You see, can you see this candle is so pathetic? Look at it. Look at the volume now. Only 130 bitcoins, but who knows? A good portion of that will be big people who have enough in their trading account, and the rest will be from the little guys. Okay, $100, $200, $50, and if this continues, okay, to be genuine news, you're gonna make money. But if suddenly there's enough volume for the whales to exit at the higher price, then you're fucked. Okay, then you're fucked. You're gonna be stuck in this because it's gonna have zero volume. There's no real news, and you're gonna get hurt. Okay, so just wanted to highlight that to you guys. Okay, don't ever get tempted by this. To me, I stick to the top 10 cryptocurrencies. Okay, just look at it, guys. Look at it from a real perspective. Okay, Ethereum has 4.7 billion, Dash has 609 million, Ripple 363, Monero, Litecoin, Ethereum Classic, I don't know about what NEM is, Augur, MadeSafe Coin. You can see that this is not a lot in terms of market cap. They are all very, very small. They're still very, very small. But when you stick to the ones that actually have a decent amount of market cap, and also the exchange actually allows US dollars coming into them, they have a certain amount of credibility. All right, they have a certain amount of credibility, or at least they have created a presence in the market that allows fiat currency to flow into them. So you have to take note. Also, they have development teams that are behind the technology, and there are interests from companies outside of the crypto sphere that are interested in the technology that they would like to adopt. And you want to look at all these things. You want to make sure that you understand all these things that are behind the coin, and not just speculate on a day-to-day basis blindly and treating this place like a casino. Because if you want to lose a lot of money very quickly, yes, by all means, please go ahead, because like I said, it is still your money, right? Because imagine if you put in 50 bucks here for some reason which I don't see, and the next thing it goes up 400%, you've made $200. It's fantastic. I get it. And then you think to yourself, wow, I should put in at least $1,000. And then when the whole game is over, especially for this coin, you're stuck. You're stuck. You get pissed off. You never want to stay invested in the crypto sphere again. You think that the whole crypto sphere is a scam. Look, guys, every single market can be manipulated. Okay? Even though cryptocurrencies are so-called decentralized and untouched by governments, private equity or private money can still flow into these, because there are always private hedge funds. There are always that are able to get their investors invested, and there's no regulation that states that it needs to do that. Okay, there's no regulation at the moment that says that they cannot invest in crypto. The banks Even if they do, they're not going to tell you that they're going to do it, okay, or they're doing it, or they're only allowing their top tier clients to be able to enter the crypto portfolios, okay, even if that's available at the moment. But as of now, I know that private banks are not having anything to do with cryptocurrency until they can determine, or at least the central banks can find some way to regulate cryptocurrency. So for now, it seems all good, but it doesn't mean that it cannot be manipulated by private investors or groups of private investors, where we call them whales. Okay, so that being said, I just wanted to give my 5 cents worth on how I look at cryptocurrencies and what makes me determine my trades. Okay, so now to trading. I have picked up Ethereum Classic for the reason that they have been hovering at the lowest point for the whole of last year and started picking up momentum, but not crazy momentum as of yet. Okay, so if you ask me what will be the trade for this year, it will be Ethereum Classic. Okay, I would like to go back into Ethereum again, but I really honestly find it so high, and the upside is really not there, because 4.7 billion to double up, for example, is another 4.7 billion, guys. So, and don't forget that Ethereum has unlimited supply. Ethereum Classic is going to have a cap, a hard cap of 210 million ETC tokens by 2070. So when we look at the whole just on that alone, it's going to boost investor confidence, because people will be actually noticing this. And at the same time also, Charles Hoskinson just recently, I think not recently, but as in a few months back, announced that he is he has onboarded more full-time developers. I think the team is called Gotham Dick. Sounds really funny, but that's the name of the team, Gotham Dick. Okay, so you can comment below to correct me on the pronunciation or whatever. But it's all these bunch of talented developers that have come together, and they had to read the white paper in detail about what the Ethereum Classic is all about. And they are creating the smart contracts just like how Ethereum is doing. But of course, naturally, ETC probably doesn't have that kind of funding as of now. But I'm looking at from this. Why am I looking at it? Is not just because that it has been remained quiet and low, as low as 90 cents, right? And then after that, it's now at 2.24. So if you picked it up at 90 cents, you're really fortunate. You have already more than doubled your money. But I'm looking at it to the point where it can hit $4, $5, $6 this year easy. Because as I mentioned, the market cap is only 200 million. Okay. Unlike its big brother, where it's 4.7 billion Ethereum, 4.7 billion, for this to double up is just another 200 million. But of course, naturally, how long can it take? I can't tell you that, because I don't know whether there are corporate deals that are in the talks. I don't see that yet. All I can see for the fact that Ethereum Classic is moving towards enterprise grade protocols and technology, right? So they want to be appealing to the companies as well. Because if you onboard a whole development, let's just think not naturally like you starting out a company, you want funding, okay? You need funding. You bring on board a full team, that's a good sign, because you have backing from somewhere, or you have funding from the community that allows you to hire this group of talented people. And developers, these guys are masters in computer science, masters in mathematics, whatever the degree is. Okay, I'm not like some tech guy, but you get the hint, right? So when you're having this team coming in, you know that something is up. They're developing something, or they're trying to improve the existing technology on the Ethereum Classic platform, so that it is ready for something big. That's all I can say. I know these things, and I just want you to take note of that and not get attracted by crazy returns like this, okay, that have no basis. Okay, I know sometimes it's nice to be entering in the ICO, and then you literally 10x your income. But if you're not well read, or you don't have that kind of insider news somewhere, then it's better that you stay away and stick to what is currently so-called safe, okay, which is basically cryptos that have decent market cap. You have seen them in the markets, especially in DevCon, conventions, and you know that the founders are there promoting and getting creating awareness of their particular platform. And you've already went to their website, you've checked out what are they proposing. Okay, all these things have to show in order for you to make a decision on why you're investing in this particular crypto. Okay, so that being said, like I said, invest with money that you can afford to lose, and at the same time also invest cautiously based on your risk category and your risk profile, because you don't want to be putting in more money than you should, and that money is used to pay bills for next month, and you're stuck in a crypto that has some bad news. But overall, in the long term, if you're invested in cryptos that are around the top 10, you should be safe, because eventually they may drop in value very drastically, but they will rise up again, just like what Ethereum did, just like what Monero or Dash or even BTC, all the same, right? These are all cryptos, even Litecoin. See, all these are cryptocurrencies that are here to stay. Even Augur was something that I looked at $6. Now it's already $9.16, right? And Ripple, I think Ripple also moved up so much. I've never personally invested in Ripple, but Ripple moved up so much. Okay, another notable crypto that I was trading is Gollum. Okay, Gollum is into shared networking. Sorry, shared computing power. Okay, shared computing power, where they intend to create a platform where you can buy computing power and even sell computing power, or even rent. I think there's a lot of things that the Gollum team are doing. So they're still very early, but as you can see, even though they're very early, it's since the 10th, they've been just climbing crazily, and I made a few rounds on Gollum. Okay, I made a few rounds on Gollum. I'll be very honest with you, but I didn't come in that sweet. I was around the 4,001 Satoshi region. But yes, I would trade between the range. So as of now, if you ask me, I'm not. I would say that it's the higher side of the range. But if it happens to come back down to about the 0.43 to 4,315 range to even the 4,000 range, you can probably queue and move up and down between this. This so far has been quite a money maker for me. Okay, so but other than that, I'm sticking to the safe stuff. I'm still a long-term investor. I look at the overall, and I keep some BTC. I keep some Ethereum. I have majority in Ethereum Classic. I'll be very honest with you guys. Majority is in Ethereum Classic, and I look at it that it's gonna double to even triple, but I do not know when. Okay, I'm not gonna give you a timeline, because it becomes very speculative. I don't want this channel to be like a crazy speculation channel where I purposely influence my viewers. I just want to give my thoughts on how I look at things, and I hope that when people who are new to trading crypto, they will look at my channel and they'll be like, oh, okay, this is a resource. Because if you go here to the troll box and start reading, some of them give decent information, but the rest are just talking crap most of the time, saying, hey, you should quickly go into this is the next big thing. And if you're new, okay, you're gonna have an issue here. You're gonna just get excited for no reason, and you don't even know how to trade the cryptocurrencies, and you're gonna get burned. Okay, and I never trade on margin, because the fact that cryptocurrencies are so volatile and give you such exciting returns on a day-to-day basis, I don't trade on margin, guys. Okay, so now another thing that if you're very, very conservative and you don't want to trade, you can actually go to your BTC, okay, and do some lending. You see, the reason why the lending is so high as of now, if you take 0.19, let's say 0.2%, and you times 365, Okay, let's just do that. Okay, let's just do exactly just that. 0.2 times 365. You're looking at 73% per annum. Previously, it was around 7 to 12%, but because of the uncertainty that is upon Bitcoin, it has skyrocketed to 74% per annum. So if nothing happens, right, and you have been just lending out until the whole SegWit come BTU saga is over and the scalability issues are all ironed out, and you just keep doing lending on your BTC, that means you don't mind holding BTC for the long run, whatever happens, whether it hard forks or eventually once it hard forks, okay, and everything is still fine and BTC is still BTC, you would have probably made quite a killing because you would earn on the lending, okay. As I said, oh wow, you see, it jumps to 0.34. That's quite insane. Wait, if it's 0.34 times 365, that's freaking 124% per annum. Okay, so that being said, I'm actually gonna probably do some lending myself. So okay, so you see, so this is the thing. I'll probably do it later, but I'm just saying it's crazy, right? You see, I'm live now. I'm like, whoa, you know, this is something that we cannot miss because it's 0.31%, guys. It's a lot, and to do lending for 2 days or even 3 days is 1% up on the amount, and that's not too bad. Okay, so yeah, look at it from that angle, and you know, always, like I said, be conservative. At the same time, also be more well-read. Okay, you can come to my channel, support my channel, subscribe to my channel, and you know, whatever information that I can provide you, I'm more than willing to share. You can actually put the comments below if you like to let me look into certain cryptocurrencies and let me know what I think. I can do that, but at the end of the day, I still stick to the safe stuff. Okay, I'm more moderate aggressive. So when I mean moderate aggressive, meaning that I can be very aggressive on certain plays, but I don't go into unnecessary hype of a crypto. I would really read in depth to a particular cryptocurrency and make sure that the white papers are not fabricated, because these days ICOs, MLM companies can fabricate the white papers and put it up on their website, and I'm not sure whether they can manipulate the GitHub and you know, just, it's possible. Everything is possible, okay? So just be very, very cautious if they don't show their faces out in public in the notable arenas. Okay, that means, let's just put it this way. A guy like me, for example, I'm a sales guy, and if I wanted to stand in front of a team of developers, I would be shaking because I would not know, right? But could they hire someone to play the part? Of course they could. With money, you can do anything, guys. So always be very, very watchful, be very mindful that ICOs these days, especially if you are someone who is very new to cryptocurrencies, look very, very in-depth, and you know, you have to really cross-reference. If they're not being covered by notable websites, for example, www.coindesk.com, and you know, no one mentions this new ICO, no one's really talking about it unless it's within a certain internal circle, you have to take a pinch of salt and make sure that, you know, if you do decide to enter, you may be right, because you may be someone who discovered it. Okay, you may be someone who discovered it, but at the same time, you have to be very, very cautious that these are scams as well. Okay, very, very possible. So be mindful, and you know, like I said, invest with what you can afford to lose, and everything will be fine. Okay, guys, so that wraps up today's episode of Crypto Talk. And what I'll do is I'll put some links below to you know, my wallets, or what exchanges that I use. For now, I just use Poloniex, and at the same time, Poloniex basically allows you to trade multiple altcoins, and that's what I like about it. And it has a healthy volume. So far, I'm pretty happy with it, but it does get pretty laggy when there's high volume of users. So I'm a little bit worried about that, but nonetheless, I still use them. Overall, remember, never ever keep your majority of your funds in an exchange, okay? Remember what happened to Mt. Gox? Same thing. Anything can be compromised because it's a central server. So always keep your coins in a hardware wallet, Okay, I would highly recommend the Ledger Nano S. My company will be, of course, promoting the Ledger Nano S, and we would like to also distribute, but we're in talks about that. We want to know what's the pricing, and from then, members on our platform, we will offer that to our members as well. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Ryan signing off, and have a great day ahead.